young people who, for whatever reason, have almost cut their ties with any kind of spiritual understanding or church or synagogue or mosque affiliations whatsoever. Would that be a fair assessment in terms
Well,
of?
there are some. In fact, Dr. Haney, there's almost a perception that is in fact the truth. What I learned from this questionnaire is that many young people, in fact, most of the young people who responded, have a strong belief in God. They believe in the power of prayer. They believe in the importance of fellowship. They believe in the importance of quiet time and Bible study. They believe in the importance of attending church on a regular basis, even though many said that during their first year, their freshman year, was something they got away from. Because the other thing I need to mention is that most of the people who completed this questionnaire were upperclassmen looking backwards and saying, if you had to do it over again, this is how I would do things. And so one of the things that I think is clear is that when young people do move away from their Christian experience as freshmen or sophomores, they eventually find their way back as juniors and seniors.
Okay, very good.
And so the other thing too that I think is critical is for them to understand the nature of the relationship with God, that it's a one-on-one relationship, and he starts right where you're at. And so you may be having problems in terms of grades, problems in terms of performance, problems in terms of wanting to be part of a group. And the fact of the matter is that God loves you just as you are. And you're on the campus for a reason. And part of the book talks about how you can find what your call really is in life. And so the book, again, was designed to uplift our young people. It wasn't designed to condemn them. It's designed to uplift them and to empower them, to give them information that they're not going to learn in a classroom.
Yeah, it's very hard to think in terms of where you might get that. You know, you might have an orientation course, but in many instances, those orientation courses simply are sort of limited in terms of what they can do. You see, but I think that serves a real need on many college campuses today, and I'm sure that you've had a good reception in reference to it. What has been the reception in reference to what you've done?
Extremely positive. And you know, I'm just humbled by the response. I wanted this to be viewed as actually a ministerial tool to help reach out to our young people, and it's been very positive.
You know, I think that we're going to show some graphics of the book cover itself here. And well, what are some of the things that you can say in reference to the placement of this book so far? I mean, you went through this whole process of getting it published and et cetera. But what kind of book club kind of information have you received?
Well, what I can tell you is that if you are interested in the book, there are a couple of websites you can go to. The one website is called SenecaDreams.com, the American Indian Seneca, SenecaDreams.com. You can also go online, and you can also go to a website called ThorDistributions.com, and Thor Distribution actually provides services for Davis Kidd and a lot of the different bookstores in the area. But by going to SenecaDreams.com, you can actually order the book online. Our hope is that it will be picked up by some of the major book clubs like Crossroads and some of the other book
Very
clubs.
good. And so you've tried to make some arrangements in order to give it as wide a circulation as you can possibly give it. And you're finding that there has been a very, very good response to it.
It's been very positive. And again, as a new writer, that is very encouraging. And I also understand, again, that this is the kind of book that it speaks for itself. And where there is a need, God is going to be there, and there's a need here. And so I'm very hopeful about its reception.
Well, what about your publishers?
Yeah, well, I actually self-published. The company that is printing the book is RJ Communications, located in New York, and they were responsible for the marketing, the advertising, a lot of the graphics that you're going to show on the show today. They are responsible for those, and they've been a joy to work with. We've already talked about a second book and a second volume to this one. So I'm encouraged by my relationship with them. And again, the other thing that's important is that the United Methodist Church
Good.
has been very supportive and has come out and made inquiries about the book. So we'll see it. I think we'll see it in a lot of different venues.
And of course, especially on college campuses.
Yes.
You think in college bookstores and
Yes.
places where students, well, not only college students there, but all over can have some need for such a book.
But most of the inquiries that I've received have been from colleges, and a couple schools have asked me to, to do book signings and come down, and that's a first for me. But the focus being to hopefully be here during freshman orientation, have the books available. And then there are a lot of upperclassmen who want to read the book because they just want, many have said, I just want to read it.
I'm curious about it too, with all those titles and all those things that you're dealing with. And of course, Attorney McDonald, let me thank you over the last half minute that we have here for coming by and bringing us that excellent information today, because as you've already indicated that making it in college is a real difficult proposition for a large number of people, and if in any way you can shed a little light in terms of making it easier to make that transition from high school to college,